This video will discuss simple meter, and more specifically how to add bar lines to a rhythmic passage to reflect a simple meter time signature. First of all, simple meter is any meter in which the pulses are divided into multiples of 2. And while the quarter note is the most common note value used to represent one beat, any note value may be used. So over here, the main beat can be a quarter note or a half note or a whole note or an eighth note. The first division of that note, depending on where you are, is going to look like this, and the second division looks like this. If the main beat is 1, 2, 1, 2, any of these note values can represent this beat. This can be a quarter note, this can be a half note, a whole note, or an eighth note. But if this is the beat, then the first subdivision is 1 and 2 and dum bum bum bum. The second subdivision is 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and a 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1E and a 2E and a. So here are 4 ways that that rhythm could be represented. A time signature is added at the beginning of the staff to define what the meter should look like. The top number is going to tell you how many beats there should be in each measure, and the bottom number will tell you what kind of a note gets one beat. In this example, in 4/4 time, the top number tells us that there are 4 beats per measure, and the bottom number, also a 4, tells us that a quarter note gets one beat. Bar lines, or vertical lines through the staff, are used to divide this written music into measures, which makes it easier to read. The bar lines take no time, but they're similar to leaving spaces in between words. It makes it easier for your eyes to grab meaningful bits of information as you're reading the music. Every measure must mathematically match the time signature. So this passage in 4/4 time, half note is equal to 2 quarter notes, so beat 1, beat 2. 2 eighth notes is equal to 1 quarter note, there's beat 3. Here's beat 4, and then we put a bar line. Then start over with a new measure. So beat 1, beat 2, 2 eighth notes together combined to make beat 3, beat 4, now we need a new bar line. Half note is equal to 2 quarter notes, so beat 1 and 2 on this note, beat 3 and 4, now we need a new bar line, and the whole note is equal to 4 quarter notes, so that one note takes up the entire measure and we put a bar line at the end. This double bar at the end is an indicator that you've now come to the end of the piece. And this rhythm will sound like this. If this is the quarter note, this is the beat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're done. It's a new rhythm. Now we're in 3/4 time. Top number 3 tells us that there should be 3 beats in the measure. The bottom number 4 tells us that the quarter note is still getting 1 beat per measure. And as we count through this, quarter note, 2, 3, we'll need to put a bar line here. Dotted quarter note. Remember that the dot after a note adds half the value to a note. So a dotted quarter note in 3/4 time is 1. Beat 2 occurs on the dot, and the second half of beat 2 is over here on the eighth note. Beat 3, we'll need a bar line here. Dotted half note is a half note plus a quarter note, so this dotted half note alone takes up the whole measure. We'll need a bar line here, tied over into beat 1. So with bar lines, this passage will look like this. And it sounds, I'll give you the quarter notes here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. Okay, now we get to try something a little bit different. We have 2/2 time. 2 beats per the measure, and the half note gets 1 beat. So 1 half note, 2 half notes, need a bar line. 2 eighth notes, or excuse me, 2 quarter notes equals 1 beat. 4 eighth notes, we need a bar line here. Half whole note is equal to 2 half notes, so 1, 2, we need a bar line, and then our final measure. So with the bar lines, here's what this looks like. Just because the beat is a half note doesn't necessarily mean that it has to go slow. So I'm going to keep about the same tempo that I've been doing the other rhythms. 2, 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 1, and 2 E and a 1, 2, 1 E and 2. So that's in 2/2 time. It may be unfamiliar. We'll get time to practice this in class. Okay, 2/8 time. Still going to keep 2 beats per measure, but this time we're going to give the eighth note 1 beat. So 1 eighth note, 2 eighth notes, we need a bar line here. Together 1 eighth note, we need a bar line. Eighth note, second eighth note, equivalent, we need a bar line. Quarter note equal to 2 eighth notes, we need a bar line here. So this rhythm performed. Here's the beat. 1, 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 1, 2.